honestly, it's some of the worst wind I've ever been in. It's probably about 50 miles an hour right now. Today, we're camping on the summit of Helvellyn. We've just boxed off Striding Edge. Should make for an interesting video, so make sure you watch to the end. Let's get straight into it. So I woke up on Saturday morning, and as you can see, the sun was shining, but I did check the Met Office and we were due some very strong winds, but I'll get to that. Now, I've not seen my girlfriend in 5 days, so it was really good to see her, and just to save time, I had both our bags packed and ready to go. Very lightweight, isn't it? Give it a spin. Woo! That's mine. Boop. We're getting robbed. So Amber was worried she was going to be cold, so she wanted to take this massive synthetic sleeping bag, but I had to remind her of the distance that we're going to be covering today. She also took all these layers to make sure she stays nice and warm. We hit the road and we headed to Lidl to do a shop. Now, I usually do cook, but because we're going to be tackling a decent fell today, I thought I'd save weight, not bring any cooking gear, and just take some snacks we can eat on the go. Things like hummus, wraps, snack bars, high calorie, low weight snacks. Got back in the car and we headed up to the Lake District.
Closer. Tell me what you want, was it enough for you? Fucking up your life, was it enough for you? No way, tell me what you want, was it enough for you? Fucking up your life, was it enough for you? No way, no.
What are you saying? Just go around that corner, take a right and park up, take your pee. That's in a bit. So we linked my friend Danny in Kendal for a quick bite to eat, and then we headed to Patterdale where we're going to be starting the hike. Come on, lads. What are you saying? What are you saying, bro? Really?
You good?
You're saying a bit late, aren't you?
No, not really. It's 5 minutes.
Come on, Ross, lad. Long time no see, bro. Good to see you. I've got a couple of my mates with me, and Danny's going to be joining us later. It's me, Amber, and like 3 guys. So let's see how we get on. There's a pretty big group of us. There's 5 of us camping. The weather, as you can see, is pretty beautiful, but it is going to be quite windy at the summit. After about 20 minutes, Danny pulled back up in his van. Now, I think the reason he took so long is he was on the toilet in the subway. Now, as you can see, his van is pretty sick, and it does really make me want to get a van, but it's maybe something I'll save for next year. Now, it's really good to see Ross and Connor. I've not seen him for a couple of years, as Ross has been living out in Asia. Danny joined us, and we're ready to hit the track. Now, it's a decent walk. It's about 4.5 kilometres before we hit Striding Edge, but I'll get to that. So we're just heading up from Patterdale. That's where we're going to, Helvellyn, and you can also tackle Helvellyn from Thirlmere, which is a little bit of a shorter way, but you will miss Striding Edge. I'm using the Mammoth Travat GTX boots, pretty decent, and of course we had to stop for a bit of a water break. It's June, it was only about 12 degrees, which is quite cold for June, but when you are going uphill and that, obviously you do get quite thirsty quite quickly. Drinking my orange juice. That's for the morning. So today we're camping on Helvellyn, one of the tallest mountains in England. There's 5 of us camping. We're taking this Striding Edge route. The weather's pretty decent, but we are due some high winds. Let's see how we get on. That's Striding Edge, which we're going to be tackling, and then that's the summit of Helvellyn. The second we got over this wall, the wind opened up so badly. We were getting hit with massive gusts straight away, so we took a minute and we put on our windbreakers, because obviously we've done a lot of the elevation at this point and we're going to be on the flat, and Striding Edge is pretty flat, so you are exposed, so it's good to make sure you don't get too cold too quickly. But the sun was still shining, so I can't complain too much. So that's Striding Edge in view now, and as you can see, that's the summit which we're going to be heading up. Now the bag I'm using is the Rab Muon 50 litres. It weighs in at 990 grams and is perfect for this type of longer hike. Now, as you can see, Striding Edge is absolutely sick. The lads were fine on it. They've been on this walk a couple of times, so we're quite comfortable doing ridge walks. But to be honest, it's not actually as sketchy as these videos make it look out. But the wind definitely doesn't help.
The worst wind I've ever been in. It's probably about 50 miles an hour right now. But I don't mind.
So the base weight of my full setup is currently around 7 or 8 kilos, and then maybe add another couple of kilos for food and water, and I am looking to do the Cumbrian Way come August.
Yeah, so we're going to check out the summit and hopefully we can find somewhere sheltered for the wind, but worst case scenario, we're just going to camp by the Tarn, and we don't want to be civilian, we want to camp on the summit, but the wind might not allow it. But let's get to the top and see what's going on. Every now and again the wind stops and it literally feels so nice, but I just know it's going to be so windy on that summit. It is one of the best walks in the UK, this. It's absolutely unreal. Obviously some of the views are amazing, but even just the terrain, like, well, it's not that dangerous compared to some of the other ridge walks, but it definitely is one of the most dramatic and definitely looks best. But yeah, I need to get a microphone, guys. I've been borrowing my mic, I bet this audio will bear with me, I'll get some better gear over the next few weeks and months. But yeah, we're nearly there now. Just look, the summit that's there. Yeah, so it is really windy, to be fair. It stopped a bit now. We're going to try and camp on the summit if we can, but if not, we're just going to camp down here. The weather's pretty decent, I can't complain, but we are due some rain in the morning, so fingers crossed it's not that bad. What are you saying? Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed, baby.
Those iconic hikes in the UK, it's absolutely insane. Like, this ridge I'm on now is called Striding Edge. You've got Swirl Edge over there. You've got some incredible views. Once we get on the summit, we'll be able to see Thirlmere. And yeah, it's not that difficult. I mean, it's probably 5.5 kilometres from the car park in Patterdale, 800 metres of elevation gain, and then same again on the way down, but obviously you lose elevation, so it's quite easy. I mean, don't get me wrong, if you've never done hiking before, it's probably not the best one to do, but it's definitely a good introduction to ridge walks. And I mean, like you can see, the photos of it looks dead sketchy, but the terrain's massive and it's only grass slopes either side. Cribcock is considerably worse than this. Treven is considerably worse than this. Even like Pavey Ark, Jack's Rake is worse than this. But I like going with my girlfriend because we can obviously share the gear. Like, we'll take one sleeping mat between us, a double sleeping mat. We'll also share the tent. You know, we'll share things like water, cooking equipment. So both of our bags are a lot lighter. I have been trying to slim down my bag. Obviously for summer, you know, get it below maybe 7 or 8 kilos. Because I mean, last year it was up at like 15 kilos. It was ridiculous. And it makes hikes like this, which is 10 kilometers, Helvellyn, obviously it's one of the biggest mountains in the UK or in England, achievable relatively easy, you know. So yeah, we'll be up Helvellyn in about 2 hours and 10 minutes, which isn't that bad, to be fair. I can understand why people really count the grams when it comes to like doing through hikes and stuff, because it does make it a lot more comfortable. But yeah, the wind has literally completely dropped off. I don't know if it's because we're behind the ridge and we're a bit more sheltered here, but like I say, we're going to make it to the summit and then decide exactly where we want to pitch up for the night, because I don't fancy getting blasted by wind all night, because my MSR Elixir 2 is a brilliant tent, don't get me wrong, but it's not a 4-season tent. It's June, it's 10 degrees and it's awful wind. Like, you think it's like April. The weather is just a joke. And obviously I know it's the Lake District and I know it's the UK, but I don't know, this summer seems particularly bad. I mean, the longest day of the year is rapidly approaching, and with that, it starts going dark again, which is a bit of a depressing thought, but bring on alpine camping. So we'll do some winter camps up in Scotland, hopefully, and get some good snow. But yeah, best put this camera away as it's getting a little bit more technical, and I don't want to fall on my arse and have to call out Martin Rescue because I was filming myself, you know what I mean?
Got a bit of trivia.
Go on.
So, maybe not sure you're on the right route.
Yeah.
On a scramble.
Yeah.
See these little scratch marks here?
Little scratch marks, yeah.
From where people have had crampons on. And they've been coming up here. And
Nice. That's cotton cams, that. So if you want more tips like that, go.
Red bike is bring orange juice.
Well, she drank all the orange juice for the morning, so bring more orange juice is what she means.
Kevin down me.
You are very beautiful. Yeah. We'll turn around. That's where we've come from. Now this is such a sick mountain, and if you're looking at doing a hike or a camp, there's no better place to do it than on Helvellyn. I think it's the second or third biggest mountain in the Lake District, depending on if you count Scarfell or Scarfell Pike. Thank you to everyone that supported my socials over the last few months. Obviously, this is something that I've always wanted to do, make videos about the outdoors, and I've had a brilliant response of everybody. So yeah, thank you for watching, commenting and engaging. I really appreciate it. And make sure you stay tuned for the future because I've got a lot planned. When you guys subscribe or follow me, it gives me a lot more reason to get out and make videos because I know that it's resonating with people and it's stuff people want to see. So yeah, thank you for following along. 2.5 hours, we've summited 950 metres above sea level, and take a look at this crazy sunset.
So all I'm waffling on about in this clip is the fact that we are going to have to stay by Red Tarn, which isn't too bad. We have stayed on the summit in the past and on a lot calmer overnight, but we've got to think of the night's sleep. Like, the tents are literally going to blow away if we camp on here, plus pitching on the summit is a bit of a nightmare. So we headed down Swirl Edge, as you can see, and that's where we're going to be camping.
Yeah, we're struggling to find a decent spot just because obviously it's so windy and the wind's coming from every direction, so we're just trying to find something sheltered. So we're probably going to head down to the Tarn. So we've decided to pie the summit just due to the wind, 50-mile-per-hour winds. I don't currently have a 4-season tent, and the MSR Elixir is brilliant, but it's not the best in winds, just the way it's designed, and the guy ropes, it's just, you know, it's just going to absolutely kill me. So we've decided we're going to camp just down in the valley, just in Red Tarn. So there's the summit. As you know, we've just come down Swirl Edge and we're going to get a good spot around Red Tarn. A decent chunk of elevation, getting probably over 1,000 metres now, and I'm absolutely starving. As you can imagine, it's pretty out of the wind, but it's still not brilliant. But that's the Lake District for you. At least it's not raining for now.
So yeah, the tent we're using is the MSR Elixir 2. It's a brilliant tent, but I am definitely in need of a 4-season tent, as even in June, some of the winds and the rain require you to have that decent level of protection. So this is the aftermath of yesterday. Everything's back in my gear room. I've got all my jackets, all miscellaneous items, power banks, my bike for indoor rides, fishing gear. I've got my down sleeping bag airing out, Amber's backpack, my backpack, my outdoor bike, snowboard, some more bags, and then this is like where I store all my gear. So tent, sleeping bags, poles, helmets, walking boots at the bottom, cooking stuff on there, hiking backpacks, again all my layers, and yeah, just more miscellaneous stuff down there. My tent's just airing out at the moment in the conservatory. Yeah, the tent is just airing off. We got absolutely soaked last night and we headed back in the early hours of the morning. So once that's dried, I'll just pack it all away. But putting in the conservatory is probably the best place for it. And it's always good to make sure you dry your tent off, otherwise it'll go mouldy and stink. Once that's dry, I'll just bang it back in the gear room. But yeah, well, thanks for watching my first YouTube video. I hope you enjoyed it. And I'm going to try and post on here maybe once a month, maybe twice a month, because as you guys can imagine, like posting the YouTube videos, they do take a long time. This is probably going to take me like days and days to edit. And of course, I want to continue growing on socials as well. So I don't want to take my eye off the ball. But regardless, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.